Hey pals, Joeypals here, and welcome to episode 2 of Speedy Pit How To. In today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at how to best speedrun Chapter 2 of Kid Icarus Uprising. If you're new to the series and want to check out Part 1, go ahead and tap on the annotation at the end of the video or on the link down in the description. Either of those places will be the best place to find Part 1, which covers Chapter 1, so go ahead and go there. Like I said, today we're going to be covering Chapter 2, and Chapter 2 is honestly the most pivotal chapter when it comes to the speedrun for many reasons that I'm going to be going over at about the midway point. But for starters, I'm going to run you through how to best speedrun the ground section. As for optimal time, I want you to take a look at the two splits that I have here. For Chapter 2, it says 12 minutes 46 seconds, while for Chapter 1, it says 4 minutes 14 seconds. In order to find the time that we need to subtract these two times, which gives us 8 minutes 32 seconds, and then take off another 30 seconds for menuing and everything after a chapter. So we're looking to clear it at about 8 minutes. If we can get in that time, we are awesome, but there's a whole bunch of other mechanics that we need along the way. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the ground, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Just a side note, this is Dark Lord Gaol's chapter, by the way. Her castle looks strangely familiar to Castle Krakenberg. I'm not sure if it's just me playing too much Fire Emblem Fates, or what, but yeah. Okay, so first things first, you're going to notice two things when you hit the ground. There's that little blue switch there, and if you take long enough on the ground, there's that Handora enemy across the corner, which I'm just going to go ahead and shoot. Because that thing needs to die. That'll be a nice little indication of, hey, wake up, you're taking too long. So that switch there, you don't need to hit it with a melee attack, just run forward, hit it with a charged dash shot, and you're good. Also, there was that mono eye that I just shot. You want to hit that with a ranged attack so that way it can fall through the floor immediately instead of having to wait for a little bit. Once you do that, you'll get into this nice ground section, and you're going to see some stairs here. Now, those things don't nearly come as close as they do. In fact, they're more mid-range on the stairs, but because I was stuck, they came down a little bit. So what you're going to want to do is run up the stairs. That's normally when you shoot the enemy. And there's going to be two more switches. You want to be careful because if you time your shots off and run a little bit too far, you're going to end up having your shots absorbed by enemies. So if you take out the first switch, then the second switch from the same staircase, you're good. Also, there's a skull enemy here. All you're going to want to do with that is run forward and hit with a dash melee attack. You're then going to get into this nice little courtyard. What I suggest you do, because it has like a nice little snake pattern that you go through, let off a fake shot around there, melee through him, another fake shot, and then melee through him. And then you're going to round this corner here. There's that base that we're going to melee into, as well as him that we're going to melee into. Around this point, we're going to get kind of tired, but as long as you time it around the point that I did, you should be fine. Then there's that little gauntlet with Magnus. As you can see there, I skipped a cutscene, so as soon as you get to that little load point, go ahead and hit your start button. But yeah, it's just a nice little gauntlet of enemies that could either be your boon or your bane when it comes to this chapter, depending on if your shots are actually accurate. Mine, I would put it at a little bit more bane right now, because these are not the best attack moves that I'm doing. But yeah, you're just going to take out all the enemies that you see on the screen. A couple Handoras, a couple Sholms, you got the Speck Nose there, as well as that enemy there. That last enemy with a shield on its back that shoots rockets is probably going to be the toughest customer that you have, simply because it can easily block your shots while also taking out Magnus, making it pretty difficult. Now, as you can see, there's a treasure chest here in the middle of the path. Most of the time it drops a melon, but sometimes it drops a weapon, so let me kill that actually. Let's go ahead and walk into it, see what we get out of it. And yeah, it's just a melon. So, if you see a weapon, go ahead and stop and pick it up, otherwise just keep going. Then we have another gauntlet of enemies. This time it's almost all scuttlers. So just try to take them out as quickly as you can. There's only one enemy in here that's of particular note, and it's the enemy that I just killed right in front of me. That enemy, I'm I'm not remembering the name of it off the top of my head, but what it does, as you'll see in the staircase ahead, is it creates a big-ass shield around it, and that shield is impenetrable by running, so you better do your best to try to take it out as quickly as possible. Now, the reason why I say that I'm going to get hit by the shield going up these stairs is because I haven't found a single way to beat it before it comes down. And I'm trying now. Ah, I did it! Okay, so apparently all you have to do is keep your reticle forward and up. If you do that, you should be able to get it. You should be able to beat it. Now, normally you don't stop and defeat those enemies, you just keep running. I just had to get through that little explanation though, because through those doors is the boss. So there's going to be a little cutscene, we hit start to skip those, and Gaol is easily one of the most annoying bosses. Simply because she rolls around a lot, as you can see right now, and it just makes her very difficult to keep up with. And I usually don't beat her that quickly. Okay! Oh, that's a thing. Also, this is the menu that I'm talking about. First you have your results, then you have a cutscene after the battle, go ahead and hit start to clear those. And then there's usually a little section where you have challenge board clearances. Me, this is the file that I'm doing all the explanations on, so you're not gonna see that. Also, that's what happens when I lower my DS, don't worry about it. Shoot, what was I saying? I don't even know what I'm saying. So, one major thing that you need to keep in mind is there's going to be two crucial things when it comes to this chapter. Laptop? I'm sorry about that. Two crucial things when it comes to this chapter. If you clear it within 13 minutes, you're going to get the power lightweight, which while it does cut your defense in half, let's be honest, you're going to be going at 0.0 after this. You can take half a defense. In exchange for that, you're going to be running a lot faster, and that speed is absolutely vital when it comes to, well, a speed run. Seems to be implied with the name, right? Also, at the end of this chapter, you're going to need your weapon of choice. Now, personally, I suggest claws, specifically claws with good range. My second run, I tried with wolf claws, which don't have the best range. Ended up getting about 30 seconds behind my world record because of their range, but if I had any other claw, like say the artillery claws or stealth claws, I could have easily beat my best time. But yeah, lightweight and claws. That's the two things you need. Now that we covered everything, let's go ahead and skip over to the speedrun file over here. As you're going to see, the hearts are going to look a little bit weird, and that's because I've been screwed over twice by my technology. First two times I recorded a narration of it, and everything that was good to go, and well, let's just say that never picked up my voice. So I'm going to shut up, set this to 2.0, and by the way, this is the last chapter that we have to do on 2.0, because after this we should have at the very least 1500 hearts. And if you kill enough enemies, both in the air and on the ground, you should be able to go forward no problems at that point. So I'm going to shut up, let Pit, Palutena, and Gaol do the talking along with Magnus, and let's get started.
This weather's...
Might help if I started time. Whoops! No, I was missing something there. So as soon as I hit move out here, I'm going to be hitting enter. Remember, we're trying to get about 8 minutes time. Okay, so false start aside, go.
And we're off!
Oh, also time's gonna look a little bit weird because as you can see by the blue bar, it starts at chapter 1. And therefore it's gonna say I'm over by like several minutes when I'm really not.
Dark Lord? Seriously? Hasn't the Dark Lord thing been done to death already?
He's earned it. He's working for Medusa. Her forces are coming from his castle. A human army is going to fight him, but they don't stand a chance.
So what you're saying is we need a brave hero to face the Dark Lord?
I suppose it is an old story. But don't forget, this is the underworld army we're dealing with. And anybody with the title Dark Lord won't be some low-level minion.
So what are we talking? Mini boss? Final boss? Well, whatever. I hope this Dark Lord's hungry for a hot plate of punishment. Is this lightning coming from the Underworld army?
Where else would it be coming from?
Sorry. I guess that was pretty obvious.
If you don't watch out, we'll be having barbecued angels tonight. And those spicy angel wings sound tasty. I'd best get you out there.
Plus, chicken is much more economical!
So, two things. First of all, I'm not sure if you saw the shape of it, but there was a little cupcake enemy floating in the air there. That enemy is called a souffle. You're going to want to take it out as quickly as possible because it lets out a load of hearts. And if you can't tell, hearts are kind of essential for the difficulties. Also, of note, I just want to say that the air section takes about 4.5 minutes, so when we hit the ground, we're going to need to do it all in about 3.5 minutes time. Which is honestly a little daunting, but as long as you can keep the steps in mind, you should be completely fine.
Across these mountains by foot.
Do I detect a note of smugness?
At most, you should have 4 minutes on the ground, 4.5 minutes in the air. Sure, it'll put you behind me by about 30 seconds, but
Eternally grateful for you.
that time can easily be made up.
Let's make our way underground. It's not the most cheerful place, is it?
The Underworld baddies seem to like it.
I suppose it makes sense they feel at home underground.
It'd be like living in a basement. Can we stop?
Oh, I thought you might want to take in the sights and destroy some monsters.
Oh, also use your special right as you're coming up on the thing. There's really no need to take your time to shoot those. Just get your hearts, get out. And here comes a lowland whale lord.
Let me at him.
I'll control your flight path so you don't run into anything. Just focus on shooting and dodging.
Got it.
We'll say, not sure where lowland whale lord got the hat, but I don't know. Maybe he needs a new fashion sense.
Dark Lord Gaol's castle is up ahead.
But what about that wall?
Don't worry, I'll help you over. It's fun, right?
Is it bad that I think about the movie with the hamsters when he says G-Force instead of, like, you know, actual G-Force? I don't know why, I just imagine, like, the little hamsters screaming in his face when he says G-Force.
Yeah! Take that, wall! Look!
The people will never defeat Gaol with the underworld forces in their way.
The humans are taking a beating. They need our help.
Normally I'd agree with you, but
What is it?
do you remember how long the power of flight lasts?
5 minutes?
And remember what happens when it runs out?
Wings burn up?
We don't have time to assist the people. We have to go straight for Gaol. I'll take you into the castle. From there, it's up to you to face the Dark Lord. His defeat will force the Underworld army into retreat.
Roger. Get ready for a display of raw angel power.
As you can see, we spent more time in the air there than the entirety of Chapter 1. So, like I said, don't feel too bad if it feels like it's taking forever in that section. We have about 3 minutes, 20 seconds to clear this ground section, so let's get running.
So this is the Dark Lord castle.
Yes, he must have scrambled to build it after Medusa's resurrection. He's using this castle as a stronghold for underworld monsters. Monsters designed to wreak havoc and sow sadness. Are you excited?
Yeah. It's like a birthday party where everyone wants to kill me.
The door's unlocked now. The enemy with the fix. I'm sensing treasure somewhere to your left.
How do you know that?
From the heavens, I can see through your laurel crown to divine your surroundings.
Really? That's amazing!
And that's not all I can see, Pit. I can also see what's in your heart.
Oh!
I think you should help him.
He's taking on the Underworld army himself. And surviving. Are you sure this guy's really a human?
Absolutely.
You have a private conversation with yourself in your face.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm Pit,
I'm in it for the reward, buddy. We both want to take down Gaol. How about we work together?
I don't know about that.
What have you got to lose? It'll be easier on both of us.
Lady Palzana, what do you think?
He makes a compelling argument.
All right, resume mission Dark Lord suppression.
I'm Agnes, by the way. Please don't hit me. The Mirage is fine.
Agnes sure is strong.
Yes, especially for a human.
You must really want that reward.
He may not be made of the sturdiest moral fiber, but that's fine with me.
I'm surprised you feel that way.
Humans are driven by desire. It's convenient to know what bait they'll take.
That's kind of cold, but it makes sense. I guess.
Hey, you're chatting with your precious goddess. Give her a message from me. Tell her she's been sleeping on the job. My world is on the edge of collapse.
I take it back. This guy's a jerk.
Okay.
That enemy with block. Back shield. Oh my god.
Long way up.
What?
The enemy with a shield here really costs us time about second gauntlets. Okay, so just keep an aim up. Ah! I gotta get my timing right.
I think we're closing in on Gao's lair.
I hope you're ready.
Okay, so that leaves us with about 30 seconds to take on Dark Lord Gaol, which honestly isn't the best in terms of time, but we can make it work.
Hey, this economy, everyone's looking for work. Even part-time work.
Stay still. Even with that little faux pas, we finished at about 755, which is pretty good. Also, again, this is a menu that I'm talking about. Battle results, cutscene, then you get any power-ups, and then also your clearance board. That's a power lightweight. That's the most powerful thing that you're going to need when it comes to the speedrun, aside from claws. But, as you saw, we do not have any claws. So what I'm going to do on this file is I'm going to either buy claws or... Let's see, are there any claws here? No. I'm either going to buy claws or I'm going to fuse together claws, just depending on what I have. Maybe I can do a weapon gem. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So, yeah, that is Chapter 2 of Speedy Pit How To. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to see more upcoming material. I have this video as well as Part 2 of Pokemon Investigations Deoxys, and then I'm going to be taking a small little hiatus, but not really a hiatus, because in that little break I'm going to be doing a massive Fire Emblem video. It's going to be a reworking of an entire story path line, and it's something I'm really looking forward to, and something I'm probably going to be really proud of in the end, because I'm taking the entire story and redrafting it entirely. I'll have a separate video for that alone. Just figured I'd go ahead and drop an announcement now, so that way it's up already. And with that, that's all I have for you guys today. This is Joeypals, signing out.